Nine-Tails Mode. Naruto's Nine-Tails Chakra mode began as a turning point in his development when he learned to control the power of Kurama. The transformation represented a new level of cooperation between host and tailed beast. Unlike the early stages of his Jinchuriki power, this form allowed Naruto to draw on Kurama's chakra without losing himself to its hatred. The mode is a result of mutual trust, unlocking access to a massive chakra reserve safely. Functionally, this mode enhances all physical attributes. Speed, strength, and reflexes are increased to the point where Naruto can outmaneuver Kage-level opponents with ease. The Chakra cloak enables him to form chakra arms for both offense and defense. One of the most unique aspects of this mode is his ability to sense negative emotions. This allows him to detect hidden enemies or malicious intent, acting as both a radar and psychological advantage. The mode is distinguished by a glowing golden cloak that emits wave-like energy patterns. His eyes shift to a brighter orange, while the whisker marks on his face grow bolder, adding to the animalistic tone of his transformation. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Naruto uses this mode against Obito, holding his own even when Obito becomes the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Naruto's ability to transfer his chakra cloak to his allies also becomes a tactical advantage. Entire divisions benefit from enhanced durability and coordination, creating a shift in battlefield dynamics. The chakra network he shares becomes a tool for collective resistance, showing how this mode serves not only as an individual upgrade, but also as a support system in large-scale conflict. Sage Mode. Sage Mode is not a transformation based on rage or dominance. It is rooted in balance. Naruto achieved this power through rigorous training at Mount Myoboku, learning to draw and harmonize with the natural energy around him. The process is dangerous. Improper balance leads to petrification, but once mastered, the results are substantial. The core of Sage Mode lies in Senjutsu Chakra, which amplifies physical performance across the board. Naruto becomes significantly stronger and faster, but more importantly, he gains heightened sensory perception. He can detect chakra signatures across great distances and react to attacks with improved intuition. This mode also unlocks new techniques, such as the Senjutsu-enhanced Rasen Shuriken, which disintegrates targets on a cellular level through microscopic chakra blades. The physical appearance of the mode includes horizontal toad-like pupils and orange pigmentation around the eyes. These features signal his connection to the natural world, but more importantly, they mark the presence of balanced chakra within his system. Sage Mode first proved essential when Naruto confronted pain. Despite losing Jiraiya and witnessing his village's destruction, Naruto's disciplined application of Sage Mode enabled him to overwhelm each of Pain's bodies. Later, this form remains relevant in conflicts against Obito and Madara, providing durability and precision that supplement his later transformations. Jugo presents a different interpretation of Sage Mode. His clan's bodies naturally absorb natural energy, triggering violent physical changes. Unlike Naruto, Jugo lacks control. His form is unstable, producing monstrous enhancements in exchange for mental deterioration. His skin darkens, spikes emerge from his body, and his strength skyrockets temporarily. In battle against Killer Bee, Jugo functions as raw force, unpredictable and hard to manage. His Sage Mode does not reflect harmony, but genetic compulsion. Mitsuki's version of Sage Mode shows the outcome of artificial evolution. Created by Orochimaru, Mitsuki acquires Sage Mode through Ryuchi Cave training. His transformation integrates snake traits, such as scales and elongated pupils. Unlike Jugo, Mitsuki retains complete control. His speed increases drastically, and his sensory range widens. He also gains proficiency in snake-based ninjutsu. Kabuto's Sage Mode represents full integration with Ryuchi Cave energy. He retains medical knowledge, regeneration, and analytical thinking, making his combat style layered. His appearance changes: serpentine scales, horns, and a snake-like lower body. Kabuto uses his version of Sage Mode not only for strength, but for strategic manipulation. He develops sound-based genjutsu that disorients enemies. During the war, he challenges both Itachi and Sasuke, using Sage Mode to match them in intellect and stamina. Six-Path Sage. The Six-Path Sage Mode is not achieved through training, but bestowed by Hagoromo Otsutsuki. It represents a synthesis of tailed beast chakra and the power of the Sage of Six Paths himself. Unlike previous forms, this mode places Naruto in a league that transcends conventional shinobi limits. This transformation grants access to multiple high-tier abilities. Naruto gains truth-seeking balls, black orbs that can morph into various shapes and nullify almost any ninjutsu. They are made from a mix of all 5 nature transformations and yin-yang release. He also acquires the ability to fly, another trait exclusive to those touched by 6 Paths Chakra. Chakra sensing, regeneration, and long-range manipulation all improve. Combined, these features allow him to fight effectively in both close and wide-range combat. A defining visual element is the Chakra cloak, now marked with Magatama symbols across his collar and back. Unlike traditional Sage mode, this form doesn't alter his eyes with pigmentation. Instead, it emits an aura of refined, absolute control over energy. Naruto's 6 Paths. Sage mode is essential in the battle against Madara. He becomes the main force countering Madara's powers of the Ten Tails. Later, when Kaguya Otsutsuki is revived, Naruto and Sasuke's combined 6 Paths powers are the only forces capable of sealing her. This mode provides Naruto with the versatility to adapt to alien threats, energy-based combat, and terrain-shifting environments. Tailed Beast Mode. Tailed Beast Mode represents the full manifestation of a Jinchuriki's inner beast. For Naruto, it means transforming into a complete version of Kurama, allowing access to devastating power. The primary ability of this mode is the Tailed Beast Bomb, a dense sphere of compressed chakra capable of flattening landscapes. When launched, the destructive radius is immense. Aside from this, the transformation grants rapid regeneration, near-impervious durability, and colossal physical strength. The user becomes a living natural disaster. In Naruto's case, the transformation creates a golden, chakra-based avatar of Kurama. The structure is large enough to overpower other giant creatures and even match the Ten Tails' raw force. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, this form proves critical. Naruto, alongside Killer Bee, counters the Ten Tails by coordinating their attacks in perfect sync. While others struggle with the scale of the enemy, Naruto's Tailed Beast mode becomes one of the few forces that can match it. Lightning. Lightning Release Chakra mode, mastered by the 3rd and 4th Raikage, converts the user into a weapon of raw kinetic energy. The transformation cloaks the body in electrified chakra, greatly increasing speed, reflexes, and durability. The key advantage lies in movement. With this mode, the Raikage can move faster than the eye can track. Their reflexes allow them to dodge high-level attacks, and their reinforced bodies resist injury even from high-level jutsu. Attacks like the Lariat, when delivered under this mode, can destroy defenses in a single blow. Visually, the user becomes engulfed in crackling blue lightning. This electric armor pulses with energy, enhancing offensive pressure, and acting as a defense layer against physical strikes. The 3rd Raikage, known for his stamina and power, once stood against 10,000 enemies alone, relying heavily on this mode's enhancements to sustain his offensive for days. Butterfly Mode. Butterfly Mode is a transformation unique to the Akimichi clan. By converting stored calories directly into chakra, the user triggers a massive physical shift, combining sheer size with spiritual power. The most notable effect is the explosive rise in strength. In this mode, Choji Akimichi increases his muscle mass and amplifies his physical attacks. With chakra wings resembling a glowing butterfly, he gains both enhanced mobility and short-range flight capabilities. This form changes the user's silhouette dramatically. The wings signal the mode's activation, while the bulked-up body becomes capable of crushing multiple enemies with one strike. The technique is both elegant and brutal. In the Fourth Great Ninja War, Choji uses butterfly mode without relying on his usual food pills. This marks his growth and control. He protects his comrades and breaks through enemy lines, showing that Akimichi techniques can rival the more feared abilities of other clans when fully mastered. Baryon Mode. Baryon Mode is Naruto's final and most powerful transformation. It fuses his chakra with Kurama's in a nuclear-like reaction, creating an entirely new form of energy. Unlike previous modes, this one consumes chakra as fuel, burning it away until one side exhausts. This fusion produces unmatched strength and speed. Each strike against the enemy reduces their lifespan by draining their chakra directly. This ability gives Naruto a unique advantage against immortal foes or chakra-based entities. Visually, Naruto gains a radiant, fox-themed cloak with swirling patterns and sharp energy trails. His movements become faster and sharper, and his reactions surpass even the most advanced opponents. However, once the fusion consumes too much chakra, Kurama disappears, ending the mode permanently. Tenseigan mode. Tenseigan chakra mode is exclusive to Toneri Otsutsuki and is activated through the Tenseigan, an evolved form of the Byakugo. This transformation grants divine chakra and cosmic abilities beyond most known techniques. The mode enhances all physical parameters. Speed, strength, and durability reach levels similar to the Six Paths users. More importantly, it introduces space-time manipulation and large-scale energy constructs. Toneri can summon massive attacks like the Golden Wheel Reincarnation Explosion, which can cleave the moon itself in two. Toneri's appearance changes drastically. He is surrounded by a green, pulsating chakra aura. The glow radiates constant energy, marking him as a celestial-level threat. In the events of the last, Naruto the movie, Toneri confronts Naruto using this mode. He manipulates gravity, summons meteors, and threatens Earth's safety. While Toneri's control over the Tenseigan is formidable, Naruto ultimately adapts and overpowers him. This battle highlights how chakra modes tied to ancient bloodlines can reshape the scale of conflict beyond traditional shinobi warfare. Slithering Snake. Orochimaru's Slithering Snake mode represents his physical evolution and symbolic identity. Unlike other chakra modes that enhance power through elemental or Bijuu-based energy, this form is the culmination of Orochimaru's experiments on immortality. His transformation into a giant white snake signifies his departure from human limitations. The form grants him superior flexibility and regeneration. His body can shed its outer layer to escape fatal injuries, replicating the molting of real snakes. This also allows him to attack with surprise, emerging unscathed from what seem to be lethal strikes. His serpentine physiology extends beyond survival. The giant white snake form has multiple heads, each capable of independent movement and attack. Orochimaru can lunge from unexpected directions or strike simultaneously, overwhelming slower opponents. His venom, delivered through fangs or chakra-enhanced strikes, adds a secondary threat that disables or paralyzes. Though not a chakra cloak in the traditional sense, the transformation carries the same narrative weight, an alternate form reserved for critical moments. Lava Mode. Roshi's Lava Release Chakra Mode is an elemental fusion made possible through his bond with the Four Tails, Son Goku. This form merges earth and fire release into molten chakra, granting him control over lava in both offense and defense. Roshi becomes a walking volcanic force, encased in a layer of glowing lava-like chakra that flows across his body. The form functions as both a weapon and a protective shell. The primary strength of this mode is destructive terrain control. Roshi can create rivers of lava or hurl molten projectiles that bypass physical defenses. Few elemental techniques can withstand the intense heat and corrosive power of lava. At the same time, his body is resistant to extreme temperatures, allowing him to fight in hazardous conditions without injury. This immunity provides a tactical advantage, enabling him to shape the battlefield to his favor. Byakugo Seal. The Byakugo no Jutsu is a medical ninjutsu-based chakra mode, rooted in prolonged chakra storage and release. Unlike explosive transformation modes, it relies on accumulation and precision. Tsunade and Sakura unlock this power after years of storing chakra in a seal on their foreheads. Once released, the stored chakra spreads across the body, amplifying physical capabilities and unlocking automatic regeneration. The primary strength of this mode lies in its healing potential. Creation Rebirth, activated alongside the seal, allows the body to heal from almost any damage instantly. Wounds that would be fatal to other shinobi vanish in seconds. This regeneration frees the user from defensive tactics. They can charge directly into battle without fear of lasting injury. Simultaneously, the mode enhances physical strength. Tsunade shattered Madara's Susanoo ribcage. Sakura demolished massive enemies with one blow. Visually, the seal forms a diamond mark on the forehead, and when activated, violet chakra patterns spread down the face and body. This not only signals the release of power, but distinguishes the mode from other techniques. In battle, Tsunade endured strikes from Madara Uchiha and continued to fight. Sakura used it during the Fourth War, keeping pace with Naruto and Sasuke in the final confrontations. The Byakugo no Jutsu remains one of the most efficient and practical chakra modes, combining offense, defense, and support in one technique. Susanoo. Susanoo is one of the most iconic chakra constructs in the Naruto universe, used exclusively by Mangekyo Sharingan wielders. It manifests as a gigantic humanoid avatar of pure chakra, functioning as both armor and weapon. Its development is tied directly to the user's emotional progression and control over their dojutsu. The basic ribcage stage offers defense, while advanced forms gain arms, weapons, and eventually full humanoid forms known as perfect Susanoo. Its primary advantage is complete battlefield control. The Susanoo can shield the user from tailed beast bombs, wield weapons infused with chakra, and move with fluid motion despite its massive size. Each user manifests a unique version. Itachi's Susanoo wields the Totsuka blade and Yata mirror, which can seal and block any attack respectively. Sasuke's variant uses a longbow and sword, enhancing ranged and melee capabilities. Madara's perfect Susanoo towers over landscapes, cleaving mountains in a single strike. This mode appears in multiple major battles. Itachi defeats Orochimaru's Yamata no Orochi using the Totsuka blade. Sasuke fights Naruto in tailed beast mode, creating an evenly matched clash of titanic forces. Madara destroys entire platoons during the war with ease. Despite being accessible only to a select few, Susanoo has become synonymous with power and legacy in the Uchiha clan. Bijuu Susanoo. The Bijuu Susanoo is the fusion of two legendary chakra forces, Uchiha's Susanoo and Uzumaki's tailed beast mode. Used only by Sasuke Uchiha, it appears after receiving half of Hagoromo's chakra and Kurama's power from Naruto. The result is a hybrid construct that retains the humanoid form of Susanoo, but glows with the vibrant energy of a tailed beast. This combination merges defense, offense, and chakra amplification in one advanced technique. The Bijuu Susanoo can launch enhanced tailed beast bombs using its bow-shaped weaponry, matching Naruto's Kurama mode in both scale and firepower. Its mobility allows it to fly across dimensions, and its sheer chakra output disrupts enemy terrain and tactics. The fusion amplifies both forms, the raw destructive power of a Bijuu with the precision and versatility of Susanoo's combat style. Its most significant appearance is during the battle against Kaguya Otsutsuki. Sasuke and Naruto coordinate attacks using their respective forms, with the Bijuu Susanoo delivering long-range support while maintaining aerial superiority. This coordination pushes Kaguya into a corner, allowing the sealing technique to succeed. The visual design, a purple Susanoo cloaked in golden chakra, symbolizes the merging of two ancient bloodlines and the culmination of Sasuke's journey. Ashura mode. At the very peak of Naruto Uzumaki's evolution lies the Ashura Kurama chakra mode, a form that fuses the full might of Kurama, the Ninetales, with Naruto's own lineage tied to Ashura Otsutsuki. When activated, it manifests as a colossal golden chakra avatar with 3 heads and 6 arms, mirroring ancient depictions of Ashura himself. Each arm can create Rasen Shuriken or wield devastating chakra attacks simultaneously, making this form an overwhelming force on the battlefield. The most terrifying feature? Its ability to continuously launch multiple tailed beast bombs in rapid succession, turning the tide of any war. While perfect tailed beast mode grants Naruto significant offensive and defensive strength, the Ashura Kurama mode goes beyond. It redefines what a human Jinchuriki fusion can achieve. This mode's scale dwarfs mountains and can rival or surpass even the power of a tailed beast fused Susanoo. In Naruto's legendary final battle with Sasuke, this form takes center stage. As Naruto clashes with Sasuke's Indra Susanoo, an equally divine construct, their blows shake the Valley of the End, reshaping the very terrain. The clash was between two reincarnated gods. Naruto's Ashura Kurama mode becomes the final representation of his journey, from an outcast to a divine protector of the shinobi world. 8 gates. The 8 Inner Gates technique isn't flashy chakra or bloodline hacks. It's raw, visceral power. A forbidden taijutsu technique that unbinds the body's natural limiters, it transforms the user into a blazing force of nature. Each gate opened breaks more physical restraints, offering boosts in strength, speed, and reflexes, but at a price. The final gate, the Gate of Death, burns the user's life force in exchange for a god-slaying burst of power. When Might Guy opens all 8 gates, the battlefield shudders. Cloaked in a red, fiery aura and emanating an intense heat, he performs the Night Guy, an attack so fast and dense that it warps space itself. Even Madara Uchiha, in his godlike 10 Tails Jinchuriki state, declares Guy the strongest taijutsu user he's ever faced. The impact nearly obliterates Madara, breaking through truth-seeking orbs and sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Karma. Karma is the ultimate cheat code and a ticking time bomb. This enigmatic mark is left by an Otsutsuki upon death, allowing their essence to slowly override a host's body. For Boruto and Kawaki, karma becomes both a curse and a blessing. It grants them access to godlike power, but at the cost of their identity. In combat, karma activates instantly, coating the user's body in glowing patterns. It dramatically boosts physical strength, speed, and reflexes, while allowing them to absorb chakra-based attacks. No need for seals or chance. Karma users can unleash Otsutsuki-level jutsu effortlessly. The seal even acts as a backdoor, letting the Otsutsuki take control if the host isn't careful. It's a power that fights back. Boruto's karma, influenced by Momoshiki, allows him to counter attacks, teleport through space, and fight on equal ground with top-tier enemies. Kawaki's karma, originally from Ishiki, grants similar perks, with even more aggression and weaponized transformations. Together, they showcase karma's potential as the future's most terrifying chakra mode. Otsutsuki mode. When Madara and Obito become the 10 Tails Jinchuriki, they don't just gain a power boost, they ascend. This god-tier chakra mode marks their full transformation into pseudo-Otsutsuki beings, complete with horns, Rinnegan eyes, and truth-seeking orbs. The sheer energy they radiate makes seasoned Kage tremble. Otsutsuki mode grants infinite chakra, access to the 6 paths, and unparalleled regeneration. Obito uses this mode to single-handedly crush the allied shinobi forces. He controls space-time, unleashes elemental devastation, and warps reality itself. Madara takes it further, gaining a third eye, summoning meteors at will, and using Limbo, border jail to fight with invisible clones from another dimension. Truth-seeking orbs orbit them defensively, able to erase anything they touch on a molecular level. With chakra this dense, even the strongest techniques fail to make a dent. It takes the combined power of Naruto, Sasuke, and the Sage of 6 Paths blessing to bring them down. Ribcage. The journey of Susanoo begins with its most primitive form, the incomplete skeletal Susanoo, a glowing ribcage of chakra, typically purple or blue depending on the user, manifesting around the wielder like some supernatural exoskeleton. Unlike its more impressive evolved forms, this basic defensive shell looks almost disappointing at first glance. It's too simple, and doesn't even look as flashy as basic defensive techniques like Rashomon. Despite its unimpressive appearance, this skeletal form serves a crucial defensive purpose. It's essentially a chakra-based panic button, perfect for those "oh crap" moments when something's flying at your face. We've seen this defensive reaction numerous times. Sasuke first manifested it at the 5 Cage Summit and used it to tank Raikage's attacks multiple times. The skeletal form's greatest strengths lie in its simplicity and efficiency. It requires minimal experience with the Mangekyo Sharingan to activate and consumes significantly less chakra than chakra-hungry techniques like Amaterasu. When you're in a tight spot and need immediate protection, this form delivers without draining your reserves completely. And of course, since it's only the initial stage of Susanoo evolution, you can spam it and it's good enough for small-scale battles. However, let's not oversell this baby Susanoo. Its weaknesses are glaring. It only protects you. It offers zero offensive capabilities and crumbles against truly powerful attacks. Against Kage-level opponents, this form is basically just buying you seconds, not victory. Strategically speaking, incomplete Skeletal Susanoo works best as a temporary defensive measure while preparing something more substantial or when conserving chakra for a prolonged battle. It's the training wheels of the Susanoo evolution, necessary for beginners, but quickly abandoned as the user masters their Mangekyou powers. This form rightfully sits at the bottom of any Susanoo ranking, representing the first stumbling step in what eventually becomes one of the most devastating techniques in the shinobi world. Every legendary power has to start somewhere, right? If you've made it this far into the world of tailed beasts and Jinchuriki, it means you're just as passionate about deep Naruto lore as we are. AnimeZONE just reached our first big milestone, 10,000 subscribers, and we couldn't have done it without your support. Now we're aiming for 25,000. If you want to see more detailed explorations like this, not only from Naruto, but also from legendary manga like Bleach, One Piece, and Jujutsu Kaisen, don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe. Your support keeps us going. Next, one-armed ribcage. Moving up the Susanoo evolution ladder, we reach the ribcage Susanoo with one arm, a significant upgrade that transforms this jutsu from a mere defensive shell into something actually worth summoning in battle. This form maintains the signature ribcage appearance, but now features a complete ribcage and, most importantly, an arm that means business. The color scheme remains consistent with the user's chakra signature, but now there's actual structure to this chakra construct, resembling something rather than just a glowing bone shield. This evolution marks Susanoo's first step toward becoming a true combat asset. The defensive capabilities receive a serious upgrade. The rib cage can withstand significantly more punishment than its predecessor, but the real game changer is that arm. For the first time, Susanoo users can fight back instead of just weathering the storm. We saw this when Sasuke battled Danzo at the Samurai Bridge. Sasuke was able to grab him and lift him off the ground while staying completely still himself. The strengths here are obvious. Improved defense combined with basic offensive capability creates a balanced combat tool that doesn't drain chakra reserves as severely as full-bodied forms. It's the perfect middle ground for small-scale, extended battles where conservation matters. Of course, you can also punch your opponent with the Susanoo. However, the punching power requires the user to move their entire body. Sasuke literally had to fly his whole body for maximum impact, making attacks predictable. With just one arm and limited range, users remain vulnerable to fast opponents or distance fighters. And honestly, this form still wasn't enough to crush Danzo to death. Strategically, one-armed Susanoo excels in close-quarters combat, where you need both protection and striking power. It's ideal for controlling fight tempo without revealing your full power. Perfect for ninja who understand that chakra management wins wars. This form rightfully sits above the basic rib cage, but below the more advanced manifestations. It's the crucial bridge that transforms Susanoo from mere defense into a legitimate combat technique, reflecting the user's growing mastery over their Mangekyou Sharingan. Skeletal Susanoo. Leveling up from the one-armed version, we arrive at the Skeletal Susanoo. And trust me, this is where things start getting legitimately terrifying. This form completes the warrior's skeletal framework by adding not just another arm, but a distinctly menacing skull-like head that screams, "I'm about to ruin your whole day." The most significant upgrade? Offensive capability. You no longer need to stand right up close just to grab your opponent. You can now maintain an ideal distance to protect yourself while still attacking your target. And that's clearly a huge advantage if your opponent happens to be someone who specializes in close quarters combat. No more awkward body flying punches. This bad boy can swing its arms with deadly precision and actually fight at mid-range. And of course, the attack power is way stronger. With the Skeletal Susanoo, Sasuke was able to crush Danzo Danzo in his fist. Well, Danzo used Izanagi to come back to life, but the sheer power of this form was undeniably much greater. The defensive capabilities here take another massive leap forward. That complete skeletal structure can tank attacks that would have shattered previous forms. What makes this form truly special is its perfect balance between offense and defense. The skeleton provides substantially improved protection, while the offensive power grants legitimate striking force that can actually threaten Kage-level opponents. Tsunade might have been able to kick through Madara's ribcage Susanoo, but the full skeleton form, no chance. The increased mobility means users can finally dictate combat range rather than being forced to react. That said, it's not invincible. Without armor plating, the skeletal structure remains vulnerable to truly devastating jutsu. Wide area techniques like lava and acidic steam still have the potential to erode this form structure. Additionally, the chakra cost starts becoming significant at this stage. Maintaining those weapons isn't cheap on your reserves. Itachi was nearly blind when summoning this skeletal form, and compared to the fully armored versions, it still lacks the specialized abilities that make higher Susanoo forms truly nightmarish. Strategically, full skeletal Susanoo is perfect for mid-range engagements where you need to apply pressure without revealing your full power. It's the ideal choice when facing formidable opponents who require more than basic defense, but don't warrant burning through your entire chakra reserve. This form represents the critical turning point in Susanoo's evolution. The moment when it transforms from a defensive technique with offensive capabilities into a genuine combat avatar. Humanoid Susanoo. The humanoid Susanoo is where things get seriously interesting, folks. We're talking about a full-on chakra warrior that's graduated from the spooky skeleton phase into something far more intimidating. This bad boy gains a muscular, ethereal skin covering its skeletal frame, transforming into a more human-like entity with a distinct head, torso, and sometimes even legs. This evolution marks the turning point where Susanoo becomes a legitimate fortress around its user. Why? In this form, its defensive capabilities far surpass those of the skeletal version. We saw that even Danzo's wind release was only able to tear the skin off Susanoo's chest. It couldn't actually break through. And more importantly, at this stage, Susanoo can now wield weapons. And of course, weapons for a giant chakra warrior are absolutely massive and carry ridiculous destructive power. The humanoid appearance and unique weapons signal that we're dealing with a completely different level of power. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a metamorphosis. In case you forgot, Sasuke's humanoid version could fire a chakra bow, Itachi's could use the Totsuka blade and Yata mirror, and Madara, well, his humanoid had 4 arms, holding swords and hurling Tomoe-shaped shuriken that instantly forced the entire battlefield into defense mode. His legged humanoid form was even strong enough to tear through Gaara's pyramid ceiling technique just to step out of it. And remember the scene where Madara had all his clones activate Susanoo? That was this exact humanoid version. Gigantic, overwhelming, and they absolutely clobbered the 5 cage, while Madara sat back and watched like it was dinner theater. Let's be real though, this form burns through chakra like nobody's business. Itachi nearly collapsed after brief usage, and while some versions have legs, they're not winning any races against perfect Susanoo forms. Tactically, humanoid Susanoo shines in high-stakes battles where overwhelming force meets impenetrable defense. It's the perfect answer to elite opponents or overwhelming numbers. But you'd better manage your chakra reserves carefully, or you'll find yourself exposed at the worst moment. Not everyone has Madara's absurd chakra reserves. That guy basically can't die from running out of chakra. In the evolutionary ladder, this form sits proudly above the skeleton. Obviously, it also represents the peak of what most Mangekyou Sharingan users can achieve. It might seem like every Uchiha clan member in the manga could obtain the Mangekyou Sharingan, but that's not true. For example, in Minato's generation, only one person, Fugaku, the father of Itachi and Sasuke and the clan head at the time, was able to awaken these eyes. And of those who do unlock the Mangekyou Sharingan, not all of them can achieve this ultimate state of Susanoo. Armored Susanoo. Let's talk about when Susanoo gets serious business. The armored form. This beast takes everything awesome about the humanoid version and cranks it up to 11 with a layer of protective plating. The visual upgrade isn't just for show folks. That armor isn't decorative. It's the difference between taking a hit and laughing it off versus actually feeling it. And of course, this form still retains weapon capability. What's interesting is that this version often doesn't develop legs, meaning we typically only see the upper body of the Susanoo covered in armor. Technically, it offers far stronger defense than the humanoid form. You can throw every jutsu you have at it, and the person inside remains untouched. Unless, of course, you're Hashirama. Because, yeah, no normal jutsu is breaking through that armor, through the skin, through the skeleton, and finally reaching the user inside. Well, there is one exception. Here's Itachi, standing outside his Susanoo. In this case, it's not the Susanoo protecting him. It's him protecting his Susanoo. That said, compared to the legged humanoid version, this one is noticeably less mobile. Essentially, it's a torso-only humanoid with an added external armor layer. Tactically, the armored Susanoo shines in large-scale conflicts where raw power trumps finesse. It's your go-to when you need to dominate multiple high-level opponents or face devastating techniques head-on. In large-scale battles, you're not throwing kunai at each other's faces anymore. You're summoning large-scale destruction just to speed things up. On the evolutionary ladder, this form represents near mastery of the Mangekyou Sharingan's potential, a devastating weapon that transforms its user into a one-person army capable of changing the course of a war. Not quite perfection, but damn close to it. Yes, it's bulky, cumbersome, and not exactly agile, but it's rarely used for fast-paced combat anyway. It's more like an intermediate transformation stage that allows Susanoo to evolve into its final, ultimate form. Perfect Susanoo. The perfect Susanoo is basically a gigantic ancient war god, the absolute peak of this legendary technique. It's roughly the same size as a tailed beast, except Hagoromo's version, which was as big as the 10 tails itself. This form isn't just a skeleton or armor anymore. It's a fully formed warrior god with a classic Tengu nose, majestic wings, and beautifully detailed armor covering its entire body. Compared to the previous armored version, this is a massive upgrade. If you thought tailed beasts were scary, the complete body Susanoo is on a whole different level. It can literally slice through mountains in seconds. I mean, a tailed beast bomb needs a cooldown, but this thing just swings its sword once and it's done. What really makes this form impressive is how many different ways it can attack. The user can summon legendary weapons, from giant swords that can cut through anything to bows that shoot arrows strong enough to break through any defense. Sasuke, for example, can even mix in Amaterasu to make his attacks even more destructive. Madara, on the other hand, fires off Yasaka Magatama like high-powered chakra missiles. When it comes to pure destruction, complete body, Susanoo is the ultimate form. But it's not just strong. Its wings are a huge upgrade in terms of mobility. The user can fly freely through the sky, attack from any angle, dodge incoming jutsu, and use wild, unpredictable strategies. Everything, from defense to offense, becomes way more flexible than any of the earlier Susanoo stages. Compared to the armored version, this is a massive leap in power. It turns Susanoo from just a shield into a full-on weapon of war, nearly unbeatable in the Naruto world. It's called the Uchiha's ultimate defense for a reason. But like all great power, this form comes with a major cost. Even legendary shinobi like Madara or geniuses like Sasuke can't keep this form active for too long. The amount of chakra it drains is insane. enough to exhaust even users of the Eternal Manjikyu Sharingan. That's the biggest weakness of this technique. You have to be very careful about how long you use it. Just turning on Susanoo at its first stage already starts hurting your body, and by the time you reach this final form, the physical strain is brutal. A smart opponent can simply dodge, defend, and stall for time until your chakra runs out. And once Susanoo disappears, you're just a regular person again, or even more vulnerable than usual. One more thing, don't assume just anyone can use complete body. Susanoo. This insane technique is only for legends like Madara, Sasuke, or Hagoromo, people who've reached the highest level of ninja power. Even Itachi, one of the greatest Uchiha geniuses, never reached this final form. To be fair, he was seriously sick, and his body couldn't handle the extreme strain, which is a shame, because his Susanoo actually had two of the strongest spiritual weapons in the entire series. That's why you rarely ever see this form. If you want to witness the full power of each Susanoo stage, go watch Madara's battles in the Fourth Great Ninja War. The man was on a flexing spree. And of course, complete body. Susanoo isn't something you whip out to catch a cat stuck in a tree or fight some random genin. This is a final boss-level power, meant for world-shaking battles only. Madara used it to take on Hashirama's god-tier wood style, while Sasuke used it in his ultimate fight against Naruto in full Bijuu mode. These are the moments where regular tactics fail, and you need destructive power plus aerial mobility to settle the fate of the shinobi world. No exaggeration, complete body. Susanoo is the ultimate symbol of Uchiha perfection. It's a battlefield-dominating force that strikes fear just by showing up. It's not just a jutsu. It's the proof of what an Uchiha can truly become when they reach the peak. Combination form. You can actually combine Susanoo with other powers to push complete body. Susanoo to a whole new level. This is the moment when ninja basically say, all in. Take Sasuke, for example. He realized, I can't do this alone. Time to team up with Naruto. That's how we got majestic attire Susanoo, when his Susanoo wrapped around Kurama like glowing purple armor. The result? We have a terrifying fusion that made enemies tremble. Technically, Madara did this first, but Sasuke and Naruto's version looked way cooler. And we can't forget Kakashi, who unlocked a blue Susanoo after receiving 6 Paths Chakra, and Obito's Sharingan. This god-tier warrior had Kamui powers, allowing him to phase through space itself and strike enemies from anywhere. Wild. All of these are insane combos. Susanoo fused with legendary level powers, creating warriors that the shinobi world had never seen before. And of course, we have to talk about Sasuke's Indra mode. He used his Susanoo as a vessel to hold the tailed beast chakra he absorbed. With 6 Paths Chakra, he unleashed Indra's arrow, a weapon so powerful it could literally wipe out a small planet. That's not an exaggeration. We saw this destructive force in action during Sasuke's final battle with Naruto. No doubt about it, these evolved forms of Susanoo took the jutsu to god level, breaking every limit we thought existed. What's interesting is that Susanoo usually has to go through several stages before it reaches the complete body form, starting from the ribcage, then building up over time. Even Madara followed this progression. But Kakashi, the moment he got the dual Manjekyu Sharingan, he instantly summoned the most complete and powerful version of Susanoo, boosted by 6 Paths Chakra. And let's be clear, that wasn't even an eternal Manjekyu Sharingan. Kakashi was just built different when it came to using the Sharingan. The biggest downside chakra. It takes a ton of it. But by the end of the series, everyone seemed to have massive chakra reserves anyway.
What they really lacked was a power strong enough to combine with Susanoo. So not everyone can attain these divine forms of Susanoo. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.